Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Decentralized Masters podcast, your go to source for everything in decentralized finance. My name is Tristan, and I'm here today with my co host John. We're here to guide you through the ever changing world of DeFi, one strategy at a time. Every week, right here at Decentralized Masters, we go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time to bring you the latest insights, updates, and tools to help you master the DeFi space. John, how are you?
Yo, Tristan, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just retweeting. I'm just retweeting this onto my not my Instagram, my Twitter page as we speak.
Nice, nice. I know we're a few minutes behind, but it's when you're in this technical world, you get to realize how many technical issues you run into your everyday life.
Oh yeah, it is fun, definitely. Well,
We're gonna
after
go
a
ahead
few
and
people.
start. We're gonna start running into. We're gonna be looking at crypto bubbles. It's been a while since I've hopped on stream. It almost feels like forever. I know you probably had a stream last week or so, Tristan. I'm not too sure, but it's been a while, at least, is what it feels like. But I'm glad to be here today. So today we're going to be going over a few news. Specifically, as usual, we're going to go through the crypto bubbles just to kind of get an idea of what's going on with the market. Also, for all of you that are in our community, we did talk about last week on Let's Talk Crypto. I believe it was last week. We talked about a moon phase and how a specific phase of the moon, being the full moon, was actually going to pump the markets. Now, we'll see if that thing came true today. But looking at crypto bubbles on the monthly, we do see a lot of green all across the board. We see MIOX doing really, really well, 19x. That is insane. Are we in altcoin season? Is the question. Pump 178%, CRO 73. I think this is meme token or meme core, whatever the heck this is, at 598%. So all across the board, we're seeing a little bit of green picking up on the altcoins. Definitely some new tokens. I don't know much about MYX. Do you know what MYX is?
No, no, but you're right. It almost kind of feels like an alt season. All these new tokens popping up, doing 1920x, and it's we'll be talking about one of those tokens today as well. But yeah, it is
Yeah, I think
crazy.
it might be clear we're in altcoin season, man. I mean, I don't know what other proof we need. I mean, Bitcoin dominance is down. Ethereum has been showing a lot of strength compared to Bitcoin, at least short term. Bitcoin, at least right now, is a lot stronger. We'll talk a little bit about that. But I mean, you can't tell me we are not in altcoin season when you see this kind of returns all across the board. I mean, Solana being up 41% for the month. It's kind of crazy if
Wow.
you ask me.
Yeah,
It's
it kind of
pretty,
feels like
pretty
yeah, it kind of feels like back when we were in 2021, you know?
Yeah, AVAX at 53%. Wow, I didn't even realize that. So all across the board on the monthly, markets have been doing very, very well. Now let's take a look. How has the week been performing? Now on the weekly, pump over 47%. And we're also seeing AVAX up 19%. So it looks like AVAX is finally moving. I don't know what's going on there. I know Tyler kind of mentioned AVAX again. He said he mentioned that he saw a lot of volume coming in. I'm not sure if anything new with AVAX has come in, but AVAX has been an undercover gem, I would say. It's one of the tokens that I've been talking for a while now. They've been doing a lot of development within the real world asset world and also the gaming sector. So it is no surprise to me that we're seeing a little bit of momentum picking up with AVAX. But I'm just surprised, like, what is now moving the radar for AVAX? You know, this 19% for AVAX. Believe it or not, it's actually really, really good. It's a lot of people were under the impression AVAX has been dead. What are your thoughts right here with AVAX? Do you know if anything new that came out with AVAX is probably moving the markets?
Yeah, no, like, AVAX has definitely been a bit of a quiet mover, and most people thought AVAX was dead. No, I don't know anything specific on why AVAX is moving, but we have always been. It always is in the news, always doing something. For example, you were talking about how AVAX was doing real world assets, where they had they were working with the DMV of California or something to
Correct. Yeah.
uh, put the license plates on the blockchain. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's interesting things that it keeps on doing.
Yeah. There's always something new with AVAX. I'm surprised. I'm surprised people are finally picking up. But AVAX, believe it or not, has a pretty big ecosystem in the gaming world. They came out with a game called Maple Maple Story or Story something like that. It's a classic online like RPG game, and it's actually running on AVAX. I haven't played it. I was supposed to play it, and I completely forgot about it. So maybe I'll have to revisit that. But yeah, AVAX has a lot to do with gaming too. So I'm surprised it's finally now getting a little bit of that recognition. They have been doing a lot of things under their radar. World Liberty did also invest about $2 million in AVAX back in July, which definitely was an eye opener because of it all the tokens. Why choose AVAX, right? So I think there's definitely something gearing up there for AVAX. Looking at the daily, we also do see some quite big movers here. HTX, which I do know this is an exchange, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it's a DEX. Okay, so I didn't even know that. I thought HTX was an exchange. Isn't it an exchange? I thought I was under the impression ATX was an exchange. Maybe perhaps it came out with their DAO. Maybe we'll look into that right now shortly. But yeah, HTX up over today, just alone 30%. So we are seeing a little bit of movers. AVAX sitting 14%, Pengu 14%. So we are seeing a little bit of movers right here all across the board in the market. And let's take a look at the hourly. At the hourly, we also see some slight movers, nothing too crazy. But as we see for the month of September, which we've all expected it to be a very slow red month, has actually been quite the opposite. It's been a very bullish month, very positive, of course, very, very volatile. We had job reports numbers being reported the first week of September. The second week, we had CPI data, and then the third week, we had FOMC meeting. With that being said, it kind of quick breakdown within the month of September that we've had so far, Tristan, starting off with job report numbers for all those that might have missed it. How was that looking?
Job report numbers were ugly. It was not what the government was expecting, not what a lot of people were expecting. They came in weaker than expected, but that gave the Fed the ammunition that they were looking for to actually go ahead and cut rates, which they did just yesterday.
Yeah, nice. And how do you think about what's going to be happening in the next coming months? Like I'm hearing rumors of people believing we're going to be seeing rate cuts coming in October again, rate cuts possibly following November and December. Because I think we have two more, right? We have October, November Fed meeting, and then December? Or is it just October and December?
I think it will be October and December.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. October and December. So
yeah.
So we basically have the month of October, which, to be completely honest with you, usually October is a very positive month of the market. It usually starts off a little shaky in the beginning of the week, which I'm also expecting for it to happen again. But we'll go into a little bit more details with that. But typically towards mid to end of October is when the market starts to pick up aggressively. And this is where we start to see meme coins, altcoins really start to pick up in traction. And we start to see a lot of new token launches, a lot of new IPOs going live. And we've been having a lot of that. I mean, stock market has been killing it. For all of you that might have remembered, I've been pretty big on the crypto mining stocks since, early on, since the year. I've been talking about how you should consider positioning yourselves in those, and also a lot of the stocks that are running on the crypto side of things, such as Circle, and those have been performing very well. Now, do you think we could get a pretty big cut for October coming in?
A big cut? No. a 0.25? Yes, that is definitely in the cards.
So now the question is this even helping the economy at all? Or is this like more of a show to say, hey, look, we cut rates and we're trying our best? Because right now, that's what it kind of looks like. Realistically speaking, you know how we were talking about this since we've been talking about this since early May. We were hoping rate cuts would have happened between June and July. Didn't happen. And we finally got our rate cut in September, which we were also hoping would have happened in August. So not only have we not gotten a rate cut between the June and August as we were hoping we would have, but now that we're getting a rate cut, we're not even getting a rate cut that is big enough to even really see any changes across, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, this rate cut that we got today, yesterday, it isn't exactly going to move the needle, but it's the environment that the Fed is setting, which is more important here, saying at least they are realizing, hey, there are some issues in the economy right now. We have two mandates, employment, full employment in the United States, and to keep prices of goods and services, inflation in check. The inflation at the moment is muted. It's not their target. Their target is 2, and we're sitting at something like 2.7. So still above the target rate and staying sticky above it. But they are moving on their other mandate right now, which is jobs, and that is actually starting to show real weakness. So yeah, the
Who would have
people
thought?
are and I'm actually expecting a little bit of a pickup in inflation, but we'll see if that is enough to make the Fed not cut rates again coming up in October. I personally, I'm probably 50-50. It could be a coin toss to see what happens in October. However, we will look at the betting markets here, the predictions markets later in the pod here, and you see that the predictions markets have a kind of a different opinion on what's going on.
Yeah, well, we see some few comments here. Wilson, welcome in. Let's freaking
Wilson
go.
Wu, how's it going?
We're also seeing Vernon. Good to see you, man. It's been a very, very long time. I messaged you on Discord just recently. I'm not sure if you got back to me, but I'm glad to see here. Vernon is a very long time follower. He's been part of my community a long time ago when I had my my channel running. So it's good to see you here, Vernon. Good to see you, man. It's been a very long time. We have Chad here too as well. How's it going, man? Congratulations on your win, though, by the way. I know Aster has been taking off. That SIN token, I saw it actually get listed on Beefy, or should I say, yeah, Connect. I guess you could call it listed. So there's a lot of Beefy liquidity pools right now for that SIN token that you got in, offering about 30% daily, which is pretty crazy. So hopefully you're doing well on that. But I know Chad's been killing it in the community. So congratulations, man. Good to see you doing very well on that. I think he caught like 2-3 plays. By the way, there were some few tokens that Tyler talked about yesterday, MKT. And how are things going there, Tristan? Have you found out anything about it? I was kind of looking at it before we jumped into our call, but
Maverick, right?
Maverick,
MVRK.
Is it Maverick Network?
Yeah, MVRK Maverick Network. So that one is a big player in the in real world assets. So basically, I think, in my opinion, they're they're filling a void that Mantra left. Since
Really?
Mantra's, yeah, they're shooting for that spot, you could say. I think Maverick is very promising. I've been listening to them in a few Twitter spaces when they do go live. So I am following that at the moment. You can get the token on a centralized exchange at the moment. So if I believe I'm correct, it is available on, yeah, and gate.io.
Gate.io. So gate.io
Yeah.
next.
Yeah. But I don't think you can get on a DEX yet. No, it's super exciting. Yeah.
I want to hear you talk about that. So yeah, we'll see how things go in the next coming months. But I mean, I'm really now kind of questioning everything. Like, are we going to like just see the market pump between now and November, or are we going to have that extension of the cycle as we're all expecting? That's where it's really iffy. I mean, I think rate cuts should have realistically happened since early July, and they could have been cutting slowly, just like the way they're doing now. You know, if they would have started since early July, I think markets would have been getting excited leading into September and Q4. I think the markets will then start to, really take this in and really show that excitement. But right now, we're also seeing some very interesting things that we've never seen before. We're seeing gold go up as Bitcoin and the stock market are going up, which is never a thing that has never happened, right? And I think the biggest issue that we're seeing now is that investors are just afraid of inflation. And I think that's the reason why we're seeing gold go up with the rest of the market, because usually gold is an indicator for going out of the risk off assets and pivoting into safer assets and alternatives. And that's why we always see gold start to perform better during times when the markets are uncertain about what could be happening, right? So the fact that we're seeing right now gold also making new all-time highs alongside with ETH and the rest of the market, which ETH still hasn't really broken its all-time high, I would say, but I believe we will be gearing towards that. As we see right now with the crypto fear and greed chart, we do see right now, yesterday we were at high levels of fear. I'm assuming that was due to the FOMC meeting. And right now we are now pivoting into greed so quickly, which I don't know how I personally feel about that. I feel like the markets didn't really react like we were expecting, in my opinion. I feel like the markets kind of priced in the FOMC meeting last week, and that's where we saw some momentum to the upside. I don't know how you feel about this, Tristan. Do you think we can continue to see some bullish sentiment, or are we going to be now into this profit-taking zone?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because September is historically, a pretty bad month, and even most of I think most of us in decentralized masters were even saying that September could be volatile, and we might see a bit of a downtrend here. But that hasn't presented itself. People have been basically pricing in the FOMC meeting, the results that we had yesterday. And they've just been buying the dip. The market hasn't dipped. There's been no dip. Will be interesting to see is if we get an October. October is historically a really good month for markets, so it should be very interesting to see what happens in October. Maybe we'll kick a trend for once in a while, and maybe we'll have a down October. But unless the Fed is more hawkish than expected, I don't see it happening. As long as they're talking about cutting rates, they're going to, we're going to see pretty good things for coming in October, I think.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I mean, we were talking about this a few weeks ago, about the NASDAQ, how the NASDAQ was approaching new all-time highs. We did see this resistance being broken. We talked about how there's a possibility of a double bottom pattern forming right here. And we did see this breakout in early September 9th. We got a little bit of rejection, and we continued to go to the upside. We broke above it. We experienced a little bit of profit taking, and we literally hit it exactly at a strong area of support. So this shows very, very positive momentum to the upside with the stock market. So the stock market alone, if you've been exposed to the stock market, you've been also killing it there, because the stock market has been going crazy. Yesterday didn't really do much activity regarding, the FOMC meeting. I think a lot of investors were more, driven in the sidelines just to kind of see what they could expect. I mean, we've all been expecting rate cuts since early, June, July. So I'm pretty sure they were hopefully everything goes as planned, because it's been very uncertain these last couple months. We actually saw the tech sector take off very, very well. Right now, NVIDIA is doing really good. The stock market in the crypto sector is doing very, very well. We had Gemini listing last week. I mean, we're getting a lot of signs. I don't want to call it a bubble, but we're getting a lot of signs of this. What would you call it if it's not a bubble, man? Because it looks like we're coming to one. It doesn't look like we're in one yet, but I think the signs are clear. I mean, we're seeing IPOs coming left and right. We're seeing new tokens being launched, which, keep in mind, usually when it comes to IPOs, when it comes to tokens being launched, investors, developers, and teams usually only start to do this when they feel positive about the market conditions.
Yeah, everyone seems to be very positive right now. Nothing can go wrong. The administration is on our side. There was lots of news about Michael Saylor met with some members of the Senate this week, as well as Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, met with House Speaker Mike Johnson. I'm not American, but he met with the speaker of the speaker of the Congress there in the States. So obviously the administration is listening to crypto. In these midterm elections we got upcoming as well, a lot of pro crypto candidates are receiving a lot of donations. So you can see that everything is kind of trending in the right direction. I'd like to be more optimistic about things, but I don't know. I just have a sinking feeling that inflation might be going a little bit higher. So I'm still very iffy on what will happen going on. But I should be more optimistic, but I'm not. Strange.
Well, let's be honest. I think we're kind of aware that the economy overall is kind of toast. And I'm not sure
Oh,
if it's just the U.S. economy, because I know globally we're all dealing with this problem, but it seems like a lot of countries have already started easing on a lot of this early on. I mean, they started cutting rates early on. Wasn't China
mhm.
and Japan one of the first, I believe, when
Yeah.
they started cutting rates?
The EU as well. Canada did as well.
Yeah,
So everyone's been cutting rates much before the US started.
except for the U.S. Yeah, so the U.S. is the last one in most stuff, as usual. I think the U.S. is just a little bit more cautious about the moves they do. You know what I mean? It's like they wait for the exact moment to kind of really hit the fan to then make a decision, as
Hmm.
opposed to what it looks like with other countries. They start doing it before it really starts bringing in some panic. But I mean, there's no surprise with how things are playing out. I mean, I think yes, we have had some market uncertainty, but the market's moving almost exactly as it usually moves. Like, yes, September is not red as it usually is, but also July has always been a red month. Then that's kind of one of the main reasons why personally I was very bullish for the month of September, because July usually is a red month. Usually July comes in, market dumps. August, September, worst months of the freaking year. Like, these are the worst because you're almost towards the beginning of a bull run, and it gets dragged out for almost 3 months of zero activity, questioning yourself if you're even doing the right thing. And then out of nowhere, the market pumps in like late October. And we've seen this happen multiple times. And one of them being right here, if I can show you, it was exactly back in, what was this, 2023, right here. So we look at 2023 around this time right here, and this was actually during the time I started my YouTube channel in crypto. If Verdon is still here, he probably remembers this, but um, views, the markets were killing it. Like, I was getting a lot of views during this time. When markets go up, usually there's a lot of excitement in the market. Retail investors are more willing to go ahead and watch crypto related content. And we're seeing that all across the board right now, right? More interest kicking in. And I remember clearly during this time right here, around as soon as July kicked in, my channel just died of views because we entered like this temporary bear market from July all the way up to October. So July, August, September, and then October is where things finally picked up. And then right here, this is where like my channel just took off. And that's because the market took off. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that July has always been a bearish month. So typically between July to October, we've always seen a lot of red. And if you see right here, Bitcoin went from $30,000 going to as low as 25, which is not the end of the world. But during this time right here, I'm not sure you remember, Tristan, people were calling for $15,000 Bitcoin, $10,000 Bitcoin. This is the end. There's no bull market. And that was going on from between August, September, being all the way dragged all the way towards mid-October, which is the reason why we were saying, people call it October, right? It's what they call it. And
October.
I think I've been saying that I believe mid-October is where we're going to start to see the market pick up again. So not financial advice, but if you haven't fully positioned yourself into the market, consider doing it now. Maybe do not deploy all your capital. I never recommend throwing all your capital into the market. Dollar cost average is always the best approach. But as we see right here, October usually is a very positive month. And as you see back in 2023, October, we saw Bitcoin break above $28,000, making new all-time highs, reaching the following year of 2024 up to $45,000 Bitcoin. And during this time, meme coins were running up, altcoins were running up. Everybody was making some crazy, crazy returns. So I'm expecting the same thing for this coming up October. What do you think, Tristan?
Yeah, I'm still on the case of going up in October. I hinge my bet on whatever the Fed says, of course. If October the Fed is saying, we got not going, inflation is heating up, so no more rate cuts, then I think the market will obviously react badly. But
Let's be honest. What are the chances that happens?
uh so they're not zero, but I think it's
50-50.
probably less than 50.
I feel like right now Q4 for the US is really, really screwed. Really are. I mean, retail spending is down the drain. Auto sales are down the drain. Luxury spending is down the drain, and these are all signs of a positive economy, right? When people are spending, that usually means the economy is strong, the economy is doing very well, and we're seeing actually quite the opposite this season so far. Unless things change rapidly, which I really doubt it. But if we actually zoom out and we take a look at how Bitcoin reacts, and this is the reason why I strongly believe we will be seeing Bitcoin hit new all-time highs sooner than what we expect. But we go back all the way back to 2023, we see this inverse head and shoulders pattern right here forming, and then we see Bitcoin do a fake out, drop all the way down to $37,000, faking people out and seeing a strong reversal. Not only have we seen this once, we've seen this happen twice right here as well, back in 2024. And so far right now, we saw this in 2025, back in April. You remember this, Tristan. This is some complete chaos in the market. Early April, people were screaming for, you know what? I think that we're in a bear market. This is some very scary times to be in. And we talked about how back in around April, I mentioned how I was really strongly believing for us to see a strong reversal in the market. And that's exactly what we did based on what we saw right here. If you remember, we actually talked about
it. Yeah.
Inverse head and shoulders pattern happening in around April. So we actually talked. If you guys remember watching this, for all those that might be new, we talked about this inverse head and shoulders pattern forming on Bitcoin. And we mentioned, consider buying the dip, prepare yourself, because it looks like a strong reversal was incoming, and look where the market is today. So we've seen this same pattern happen 5 times, 6 times right here. And now we're going into the 7th time of seeing this inverse head and shoulders pattern happening in the market. So I'm expecting Bitcoin to probably break above new all-time highs in the next coming weeks. I'm not going to put a date to it, but I do think we will be seeing this breakout with Bitcoin. And we're actually seeing more strength in Bitcoin than ETH, in my opinion. What are your thoughts here, Tristan?
Yeah, no, I'm actually more optimistic in ETH. ETH was showing signs of strength. It's kind of just been consolidating sideways now. But if we are really going into altcoin season, then I'm thinking ETH will be a really good performer here. Hopefully, breaking all-time highs. But yeah, I don't think you're going to go wrong going either Bitcoin or Ethereum right now.
Yeah, I think I was going to ask you too. By the way, are you good on time?
I'm good for a little while.
Okay, awesome, perfect. We started a little bit late, so that's the reason why I'm asking. But yeah, so Bitcoin is looking very strong. One thing that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys real quick before I pivot over to Tristan. I know he has a lot of things to share with us. But let's take a look at, hey, Phil, how's it going? What about XRP? We'll talk about XRP right now. It's a great question. So let's go ahead and take a look at the moon phases right here with Bitcoin. So I've been pretty big with the moon phases. I always found it very funny. I always tell myself there's no way. But when we take a look at the moon phases right here, we talked about this last week or about 2 weeks ago now. I think it was last week. September 7th was last week. Yes, last week. Wow, time flies by very quickly. We talked about this last week in our community on Let's Talk Crypto, how I was seeing a full moon actually forming. And as you see with this indicator, the moon phases, every full moon, which is a green little dot, is where the market usually bottoms. And every red dot that you see right here is a new moon. Now, keep in mind, one thing that is very interesting, this is the reason why I actually positioned myself in contracts for options, because I saw this and I was like, you know what, let me just front running to take the risk. Hopefully the moon is telling the truth, and so far it has. Now, one thing that I do want you all to keep in mind is that we do have a new moon this coming up month, and it's actually this weekend. And I'm going to try to see if I can go ahead and show you if we could go ahead and see exactly when. I don't even know what is spelled out. New moon. Let's see. New moon, September 2025. Okay, there you go. Let's see if we can go ahead and see what's going to be coming up. So September, where do we have a new moon coming up? I can tell you exactly on my calendar, but I just wanted to show you guys. If I can't find it here, I'll just go ahead and pull it in my chart. But let's see. This is 2025. So where is the new moon? Let's see. This is Tella's here. Okay, let's see. Where is the new moon coming up? This doesn't show it, but I'll tell you exactly when the new moon's coming up. So there's a new moon actually coming up this week. which is actually going to be on Sunday, the 21st. Oh, it's actually right here, 21st. New moon. So it would make sense for us to have a retracement. I mean, we've had a lot of grain. I think it's just fair for us to see some profit taking happening here. So I wouldn't be surprised if towards the end of the month we do see a little bit of red. Possibly we might even see trying to break out above a 120 before we start getting rejected. Now, keep in mind, this is a very strong area of resistance for Bitcoin at around this zone. So even if we do start to see the market go slightly down, Bitcoin is still in the positive. So I do expect a little bit of red coming up probably next week. So if you missed out on any kind of market opportunities this week, do not FOMO. I've been getting a lot of emails about a few of you trying to get that FOMO regarding market conditions. Do not get fear of missing out. There's always an opportunity for you to enter or re-enter the market. I didn't expose myself fully as I wanted. Right here back last week. Luckily, I had some positions open, but not to the point where I would have wanted. But you can never time the market exactly, right? So I didn't do any major moves this last week. Did you do anything, Tristan, besides Aster?
No, I have been quiet. I have been not doing too much. Just kind of waiting, seeing. There's a few projects that I have my eye on, so waiting for those to
Did
come
you get
up.
an Aster, by the way?
No, I didn't, but I did help. I did help many people to get into it, though.
Yeah, I did the same thing too.
Yeah.
I saw everybody do 4Xs except for myself. But yeah, it's congratulations on all of you that did go ahead and take advantage of Aster. Tristan's going to be talking about that shortly. But yeah, Bitcoin, I see a lot of very positive momentum. But just be on the lookout. We do have a new moon coming up this Sunday, which I think it's more than normal for us to go ahead and see this retracement of the market due to this massive upside that we've been seeing. Now, looking at Ethereum right here, Ethereum looks to be forming some sort of cup and handle pattern, which is a very bullish reversal pattern. I talked about this a while back too, on how I was expecting no lower than Ethereum going between $43 to $4,400. So far, has been holding up very well. If we do continue to bounce off of this, we should be seeing that $5,000 being approached. I think we should be probably seeing this no later than mid-October. And of course, if we do start to fall down below support of where we're at, $4,300, we will be seeing Ethereum come back down, which I highly doubt it. What are your thoughts right here with ETH, Tristan?
Yeah, no, I see lots of strength with ETH. I see even more strength with Solana actually. But I
I
think
can see that 40% for the month.
it's crazy. But I think ETH and Solana being the main competitors, and the main basically the entire crypto market between those two, right? So I think
It's,
ETH and Solana will be doing really
yeah,
well here.
it's beautiful when you scribble random things in the chart and it happens. I don't know when
Yes.
I scribbled this, but I scribbled it sometime, some week, and look at this breakout. I mean, this is amazing. Resistance is forming right now on um, Solana. Now, keep in mind, this seems to be it was a new all-time high for Solana back in 2025, if I'm not mistaken, right? 250
Hmm.
or no? Oh yeah, it is, man. All-time high for Sol was actually like 156, and we're at 250, or sorry, 256, and we're at 250 right now.
Yep.
So,
Not too
what
far
do you
away.
think causes this momentum with Solana?
I think the meme sector isn't as bad as people thought it was. So, people not only a few months ago were writing off the entire meme play. Pump.fun was dead. This was dead. Bonk was dead. Um, but they all seem to have recovered nicely. Pump.fun is back making new highs. The actual pump token itself doing very well as well. A lot of the real world assets are also going onto Solana before anything else as well. And you also got the huge upgrades that I've gone through so far with Solana. So they did have I'm forgetting the name of it, but they did recently do an update. And Solana keeps on building, and it's going in the right direction. So yeah, it's been very optimistic. Very positive things have been happening for Solana as of recently. And I'm all for that.
Didn't they announce some ETFs?
Yes, there is a few Solana ETFs now at the moment. There's also some treasury companies, for example, companies like Sol Strategies. So lots of ways that you can get exposure to Solana through traditional markets. So that could be, and why is that important when you could just buy Solana through any crypto exchange? Well, if you had your 401k or an IRA or something, it gives you exposure that way.
So let me ask you, Tristan, what other sign do we need to confirm that we're in an altcoin season?
All-time highs for Solana.
I feel like I always get this question asked. Are we in altcoin season? I feel like we've been in altcoin season since early, like probably July, honestly. Like we haven't actually like confirmed altcoin season. We still haven't really confirmed it until it breaks above all-time highs. But I mean, we're an inch away from doing that. So I would say, in my opinion, we're in it. Like we're in it, but we're just not fully where we should all, or what I should say, we're not in where we all expect for altcoins to be in, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's clear altcoin season is around the corner. Ethereum is near around probably less than a 30% move from making all-time highs. Same thing with Solana here. I think what really happened here with Solana, my opinion here with Sol, is that everybody was so focused with Ethereum that everybody forgot about Solana. And we talked about this, I believe, too, as well. We talked about the fact how we could go ahead and potentially see this reversal in Solana. And we said it was a good time to go ahead and consider loading up on Sol. Like, even though I'm more bullish on Ethereum, I never neglected Solana. Like, I still have Solana meme coins. I still loaded up on them because I knew that the way this game's played is like a look over here, don't look over there. And then by the time like you're so focused over here, the whales are loading up on this end, right? So with Solana, it's no surprise. So we see Reina talking about Aster. We're gonna look into Aster right now shortly. We see Phil Rocket Fuel is just on the final test before liftoff, 100%. Olo, I believe his name is Olo. Let's go back to all the questions. Let me put them up so you guys could go ahead and read that. We see Phil asking about XRP. We'll go over that right now. Reina, thoughts on Aster. We're going to have Tristan talk about that. And Phil, Rocket is fueled just on the final test before the liftoff. I totally agree. And then also Holo, I believe is the way you can pronounce the name. Basol ATH is the beginning of alt season, or just a peak of Sol and then bear market next 2 years? Go for this, Tristan. I'll have you go with your opinion first.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I think Solana, once it does hit all-time highs here, it's going to depend on what the broader market is doing. So if the Fed reverses rates or something of that sort, then Solana's going back down. But if all things stay as they are now, I think Solana could have some run room, at least maybe even consolidate up there. I'm still very optimistic on what we're going to see with Solana. Solana is also part of those USA blockchains, so it does get a little bit more favorable treatment from this current administration than others. I even saw Solana sponsored a lot of public events recently. So Solana, I'm not sure if anyone is a fan of the All In podcast. It's with the current SAR of crypto and AI, David Sachs, and a few other major VC capitalists in Silicon Valley there. But Solana was sponsoring their most recent event. They had Elon Musk speaking there. You had the CEO of Palantir speaking there. So yeah, Solana is putting themselves in all the right places.
And they came out with their phone too. Solana phone just launched. Did you get it, by the way?
I was thinking about it, but
yeah,
the iPhone 17 might be my preferred weapon of choice.
Yeah, I just pre-ordered that 2 days ago. I guess it's coming out like next week or something. But yeah, apparently, like from what Ismail said, he ended up getting the Solana phone, and he said it basically paid off with all the airdrops. I mean, that was the biggest thing with the Solana phones, right? So that's really neat. But yeah, so typically, and I would say typically because these last couple of years, ETH has really been lagging. And Solana has been like the ETH of the cycle, meaning like Solana is the asset that kind of tells us if we're entering an altcoin season or a meme coin season. And I would say that right now it's not so much that, but it is a confirmation 100% in my opinion that it is giving us a sign that we are gearing towards that altcoin season. Right now, it's so focused on Ethereum. And that momentum right now, it's mostly like everyone is not too surprised if Solana hits all-time highs, I believe. I think more people are questioning whether Ethereum could go ahead and hit all-time high. And I think that's why right now the focus on ETH is there because people want to go ahead and see if ETH really has the power behind like Solana does, because everybody knows Solana has a strong community. Like, let's be honest, everybody. I'm not surprised with what we're seeing with Solana. Solana has one of the biggest communities when it comes to NFTs, when it comes to meme coins, the DEX side of things, like DeFi has been picking up aggressively for Solana as well. So the community behind Solana is very, very strong compared to ETH. I feel like ETH is more geared towards the old heads of crypto, like the people that have been in crypto for a very long time. They still kind of look at ETH now, especially with it being at its near all-time high. They're asking, can it really break above? And I think right now people are really waiting for the sign on ETH more than Solana, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Time will tell. But I think right now the markets are a little bit more focused with Ethereum and questioning, will it be able to break? Because you got to keep in mind, at the end of the day, a lot of the tokens are still running on ETH. I mean, Ondo is running on ETH. So a lot of tokens are still dependent on ETH. But yes, I will say Solana is probably one of those signs that at least gives me that we are entering a risk on into the market, because Solana, as you see, 40% on an altcoin, it's pretty aggressive if you ask me. So very, very volatile. It almost moves very similar to like a mid cap, but it's not a mid cap. So what would you say with that, Tristan? Like, would you agree that like Solana is a little bit more volatile than most of your typical blue chip altcoins?
Yeah. Well, especially for Solana size, something $90 billion market cap, right? So massive token. But it doesn't move it doesn't move small like
Slow.
that at all. It's volatile, and maybe that's part of the design. As Solana is so quick, the transactions are so quick. You can do. I can guarantee there's a lot of people doing a lot of leverage trading via Solana on
Yeah.
perpetual on perp dexes. For example, Jupiter. You can got 100x leverage Solana there. You got Drift. You got a few different. You can do it on Hyperliquid even. So there are lots of places where you can do high leverage for Solana.
Yeah, I mean, a 67% on a high cap, it's kind of crazy.
Yes.
So like I kind of put Solana in his own category, but yes, I will definitely say that Solana shows risk on behavior, and I think that could go ahead and make it a pivot into this altcoin season. So let me talk about XRP real quick, and I'll pivot over to Tristan. XRP is going to be a quick little talk. XRP is looking very, very positive, so I hope you're still here, Paul. But take a look at XRP. We are seeing this very, very famous pattern. I'm not sure if Tristan already identified it, but we're seeing an inverse head and shoulders pattern, the same pattern that we actually saw with Bitcoin forming. So as long as we see this breakout above the neckline, so we see the shoulder, head, shoulder, and if we could go ahead and see this breakout right here, we are going to be seeing XRP also approaching the $3 plus mark. So very positive things here. Let me try to change the color for you. I'm not sure that's good enough. But yeah, very positive things for XRP. I think XRP could go ahead and see some very positive momentum, showing signs of a lot of strength. If we could go ahead and break above 312, which we're almost near there, and hold above it, we will be seeing a continuation with XRP, and we probably will be hitting new all-time highs really soon for XRP, which keep in mind, that is at $3.66, which technically looking at this, we're only about an 18% move from hitting this. Keep in mind, Solana just hit a 50% upside in a month. So with XRP and the community that they have behind, I think that is a very, very possible thing for us to see that 18% move. But very positive things with XRP. I think XRP is going to, surprise a lot of people, and I'm expecting XRP to approach above that $4 mark. I think $6 to $8 is very, very possible. So for any of you that are XRP holders, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, and subscribe. But XRP is looking very, very positive and actually really good to actually even leverage trade. So of course, not financial advice, but I'd be pivoting over to Tristan. I know he has a lot to share with us. And there you go. So Phil did, oh, it was Phil, not Paul. Phil did say a lot of ETFs are coming in October too for XRP. Yes, I do think that's going to definitely move the market. I think it come in with, we're seeing a lot of awareness too. Like I actually saw a liquidity pool right now. Let me quickly show that before I pivot over to you, Tristan, just so you guys can go ahead and see this. They actually do have a lot of good liquidity pools. You've seen me sharing those, right, Tristan?
Yeah. I work with a lot of our XRP fan favorite members.
Yeah, so take
The
a
one
look at
on
this.
the one on the Harvest here is about 5% right now. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's actually it actually went up a little bit higher, 5.29 a few hours ago that I saw it. But if this loads up on me, 5.40. So they're offering 5.40% APY for you to lend your XRP. So this is like the best that I've seen ever. So you just deposit your XRP and you earn a yield. So we are seeing a lot of upside with XRP, and I hope we continue to see this number gear up. But I do believe in XRP. Lots of good things happening for XRP.
Well, I'm not a fan of XRP myself, but I can't deny a good-looking chart. All right. So speaking of good-looking charts, let's do this. All right.
Don't forget about Aster. I'm not sure if the person asking about Aster is still here. Oh, you got it. There you go.
Yeah. So this was a big move. This was a new token that just launched yesterday. Aster DEX is, as you can say, almost like a hyperliquid style perpetuals exchange. And we can go into it here. I'll give you a little tour. Basically, you can trade most tokens here as perpetuals with leverage. So, for example, you can trade your Bitcoin here, 100x leverage, Ethereum, 100x, BNB, Solana, 25. So, you can leverage trade your to your heart's desire here. This is the Ethereum network. So this is a BNB and Ethereum exchange and Arbitrum. But what happened here was we do have Aster now available as a perpetual, but yesterday it just launched as a spot trade, and you could buy Aster, and it was launched. It started at what? I think it was 3 cents almost.
Yeah.
It was like just below that, and it basically ran up to 48 cents as a high in a single day.
Put it on the 5-minute chart. Let's see what that looks like. It looks like $1.
It's gone crazy.
Wow, that's really good. Congratulations on all of you that hit that. I hit 80 cents, and it looks like it's off of strong support. So for any of you that were waiting for entry, not financial advice, this could be an entry if it holds.
Yeah, no, this one's been a great performer. A lot of our members have been very successful with this. And it does, of course, it helps that CZ, the CEO, former CEO and founder of Binance himself, made some comments about Aster yesterday. So that sent it skyrocketing.
What's my conspiracy behind Aster, man?
Let's hear it.
I'm not sure you remember, but
are we ready for this?
I'm not sure you remember, but a few months ago there was some beef going on with Binance and Hyperliquid, if you recall, and they almost basically took out Hyperliquid with what they were doing, and Hyperliquid was able to pull out of it, luckily, because they had the money, right? But what I'm saying is, I think Aster is supposed to be the competitor to Hyperliquid. And I think it was clear as soon as CZ went ahead and made that tweet yesterday, because when he made the tweet when it was at 17 cents, I literally created a video on how to go ahead and buy Aster token, and it was at 17 cents. And after that tweet, it just took off. It took off within an hour or two when people were seeing that. So I think personally that this probably has some relation with CC or Binance. And the fact that they were able to implement this many blockchains, I think it's a really good positive sign. I mean, they have ETH, Solana, what was it, Ethereum, and what was it, Arbitrum?
BNB, ETH, Arbitrum, Solana.
That's crazy, man. Hyperliquid started off first with just ARB, and that's it. And then they slowly scaled Bitcoin and then ETH. But I think this is a competitor. They're going to be competing with Hyperliquid, in my opinion.
Absolutely, and it's still performing really well. So, very exciting for a lot of our members. They were very lucky with this.
Do you know when the airdrop's going to go live?
I'm not sure, but apparently, yesterday was the first one, I guess.
Wow, they launched this very well, man, because Hyperliquid, when they first launched, they tanked, which is normal. Every token does that, you know?
Yeah, it's normal. But yeah, that was, they did that well. And of course, it helps that CZ literally made a tweet. Lots of attention. I saw lots of people on Twitter saying that, oh, how do I get the Aster token? How do I get the Aster? So our members, of course, they had our instructions, so they were quite well. So it's just another good reason to be looking at decentralized masters, looking at being part of the free group at a minimum. But yeah, we were all able to capitalize on this quite well.
Phil's asking too, after you get done with Aster, someone else is still asking about Aster. Any thoughts on WLFI, which is, I believe, World Liberty Finance? And then Abass is asking, good buy. Is it a good buy right now for Aster?
Of course, not financial advice. But I didn't get an Aster to begin with here. I am looking at a bit of a pullback here, kind of just in the long term here. Well, that's long term. It's a day can do, but I would be more. I would try and look at the support here. So you do have a little bit of a support in that 49-cent range. So we might be pulling back towards there before before I'd be looking at it again, because I think we do have a lot of room to come down here. Lots of people have made a lot of money here. So once it does start coming down, it could come down very quickly.
And also, if you're concerned about whether you should get in right now or not, just buying a little bit dollar cost average, and if it falls down to 40 cents, that's going to be the key area of support to buy in and be your signal. Well, Abass says he's in at 7 cents. Well, that's really good, man. You must be up a lot. 7 cents or 70 cents? I think that's 70 cents. What is it currently at? 63. So if you're in at 70 cents right now, I think I agree with Tristan. Like, I think we could probably still see it come down to like 40 cents. 40 cents is going to be your ultimate entry. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But you're already in a position, so I really wouldn't worry too much. If it does drop down to that 40 cents, instead of panicking like most people will very shortly, you can continue to go ahead and DC into your position. But I think Aster is probably going to try to attempt breaking towards that $1, honestly. So it's a 22% move to the downside. So instead of panicking like most people, consider maybe buying the dip, but it is showing a lot of signs of selling pressure. So just a heads up on that. I agree with Tristan on that.
Yeah,
it says waiting in at 0.4. Correct. Yeah, 40 cents. I think it's a good entry. Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but yeah, it looks to be that there might be a little bit of a support there. So that's just my 2 cents there on Aster, just my opinion. All right, and then we got a short one today. I've shortened this up, but
World Liberty. Phil asked about World Liberty.
World Liberty. I haven't looked at World Liberty here, so let's go. I haven't looked at World Liberty recently, but that one didn't have a spectacular launch.
Abass says thanks, sir. You're welcome.
No problem. What are we doing here? All right, so World Liberty Finance. Well,
try the smaller time frames. You'll probably get a little bit more better data. 15-minute chart, maybe.
Good. Thanks. Okay, that's a little bit better.
Not looking bad.
It's not bad. It looks almost like it's consolidating.
Yeah. Showing signs of strength.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it does look like it's consolidating. I guess my perfect entry point on a WLFI for myself would be almost hard to say. I guess
It actually looks like right now could be
identify
a perfect
support
entry
level.
point, honestly, if you consider it.
Yeah. So I would be nitpicky, maybe 2162. But even right now, it's not terrible. When you look at the longer, when you look at the bigger picture here, yeah, it's I was just being nitpicky, but even right now, it's not terrible. Especially if they're going to be giving a lot of attention to this project, which I think they will.
What is that little
Trump's
peak you see right there, right above the line you created? Is that 25 cents?
23.8.
23. So if you're considering, if you're not in this token yet, this could be like a zone to load up. I mean, it's a clear sign of accumulation. Once it starts to break above 23 cents, this is going to just run up to 30 cents plus. So this could be your last chance to load up. Of course, if you get it under 22 cents, that's amazing. But I think between where it's currently at, we probably won't see it any lower than 21 cents. Maybe worst case scenario, 20. Which, if you believe in this, then I think it's worth considering positioning yourself in this. It's looking positive, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Not much
looking not
action,
bad.
but it does show signs of accumulation.
Yeah, doesn't look too bad. All right.
He said he bought WLF at 24 cents. You're still at a good entry right now, man. Like
Yeah,
non-financial
could be
advice,
worse.
you get dollar cost average. It could be worse.
Yeah. All right. So we'll jump to poly market here. The Fed decision coming for October. It's pretty, as you would say, decided. Lots of people are going for that 25 basis point cut again. It's just the same as what we saw last month. I think there's a chance that we actually get a no change. So I would be more interested in taking a look at that because that seems to have very low odds. But everyone seems to be saying that there will be a cut in October, and then in December as well. People are saying cut in December again also. I'm on the basis of maybe we're going to get a bit of a no change coming up, but yeah, everyone seems to be very heavy on the cuts coming. As for January, we're about 50-50. And let's go to Trueflation. Trueflation just kind of gives us an idea of what the potential actual inflation rate in the U.S. economy is at the moment, and it's looking pretty low right now. So compared to the 2.7% that we get from the Fed, it's not terrible. Could be worse. All right. So basically, what happened when we cut is Bitcoin fell below 115,000. When they did cut, we moved from 4.25 to a 4.0 interest rate. Bitcoin has since recovered. I think we're at 118,000 at the moment. So there was some talk of a 50 basis point cut, but I think it will be more of we'll have at least two more cuts throughout one or two more cuts throughout the rest of the year, and that'll be interesting to see what happens next year.
Good question.
Yeah.
They're asking regarding the link. Someone is asking regarding the link in the description. What is another good way to go ahead and join the master class? He says, Paulo says he only sees the description box, only a StreamYard link, but not the actual link. What would be your recommendations to?
John, I'm sharing right now, but if you want to actually hold, I'd say go to the Decentralized Masters webpage. So actually,
Okay, I'll go ahead and send them now.
Yeah, that's what my suggestion would be, and then just I think there would be a little meeting that you might have to talk to one of our analysts. But yeah, that's strange that we don't have the link. There usually is a link to the free group there.
Yeah, it should be working.
Yeah. All right. So we did talk about this a little bit. Gemini did IPO, so it kind of went under the table compared to a lot of the other crypto IPOs that we've had recently. Um, it, it went up an impressive 24% on its first day of trading, hitting close to $40 before closing near 25. It did raise $425 million at $28 per share. Gemini joins Circle and Figure in 2025's hot crypto IPO market. Circle is up 160% and Figure up 24 on their debut days. There is a strong demand for Gemini's IPO. However, when I did look at Gemini recently, it did come down from where it was. So we're sitting at 24, basically back at the same price that it debuted at. So Gemini might be an interesting play going forward. Definitely need to see how it plays out, though. Maybe a little bit lower. It would be a little bit interesting to me, but not yet. All right, and then next one here, we have a new stable coin coming up. This one is called USAT. This one is a new stable coin by Tether. John and I talked about this not too long ago, but when the Genius Act went through, Tether, so USDT, is technically not allowed in the United States, not allowed to be used by centralized exchange operating inside the US. So no Coinbase, no Kraken. So this is the answer to get Tether back on the right side of the US government. They will continue running the USDT, of course, but this is the USAT, and this will be the United States approved version of USDT. So they also hired a new CEO to run this new project, crypto advisor Bo Hines, who actually was an ex-White House crypto advisor. Tether is aiming to bolster US dollar dominance in the digital finance stablecoins. Stablecoins now exceed 207 billion market cap amid global policy focus. Crazy. And Bitcoin mining stocks real quick. I know that John has been very successful in these. Bitcoin mining stocks like Cypher, TeraWulf, and Iris Energy have jumped 73 to 124% in September, outpacing Bitcoin's 3% drop. Investors favor miners shifting to AI and high-performance computing, with Hive and Iris expanding into AI data centers as well. And TeraWulf did partner with Google. Despite tight margins and rising mining difficulty, miners are holding more Bitcoin, with wallet balances up for 3 weeks, peaking at 573 Bitcoin on September 9th. And here's just some of the, this was yesterday's data, so it's off by a day, but this is how much some of the major Bitcoin mining companies are up for the year so far. So very great returns on Bitcoin mining companies this year. And we have one more project that we're going to talk about here real quick. This is Wormhole. Wormhole, many of you probably know, they are the guys behind Portal Bridge. Portal Bridge is a good way to bridge between different currencies. Sometimes we've run into some problems with Portal Bridge in the past about some currencies. Sometimes transactions get stuck, but for the most part, it's been fine for me. Let me show this. Yeah, but what's happening now is that a portion of the fees that Wormhole gets from every time someone does one of these bridges will actually go back into the W token for this people who are staking the W token. W token debuted at $1.66 on April 2024, dropped to 54 cents, but jumped 6.3% yesterday after this announcement. It is now trading at 9 cents. So a mighty fall from $1.66, but not a bad setup actually. If we look at the chart here. Dun, dun, dun. Will CoinGecko be nice to me today? Maybe not. But come on, there we go. So the setup on Wormhole, well, it's up 24% today. Wow, okay. But it's basically been It was flat. It was consolidating, so it was a very similar pattern to what we were getting with WLFI. However, with the 24% move in a single day today, maybe I need to rethink. But oh yeah, come on, 7 day at least. Oh, we'll survive. But yeah, what looks like it had a really nice consolidating pattern there. And then of course we have some ETFs launching, one for XRP, and then there will also be a Doge one coming quite soon as well. And that's actually all I have time for today. I gotta run.
Awesome. Yeah. I posted the link. I'm not sure that's going to help. Another way to just search is go to our LinkedIn channel, go to Decentralized Masters, and then you could also just go ahead and message myself or Tristan in there. We could go ahead and redirect you, but this should be the link.
Let me just post that one on YouTube. I think that worked. There you go. Sweet. All right, let's finish her off for today. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to another session of the Decentralized Masters podcast. I hope you're walking away with some clear strategies and insights to push your DeFi journey forward. Remember, DeFi is evolving fast, and staying ahead means taking action with the right knowledge. If you're ready to dive even deeper and want a roadmap to build your own DeFi success, check out our DeFi Masterclass. In the training, you'll receive clear hands-on strategies to maximize returns, manage risk, and truly make the most of what DeFi has to offer. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss next week's live episode. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you right here next time on Decentralized Masters.
Later, everyone. Hope you all have a good one. Awesome.
Ciao.
We got the link. Take care.